guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have something absolutely beautiful to take a look at. We have another Dino and Dog, aka Nikola Roglic, model to take a look at, and this time, as you can see, we have an adult Tyrannosaurus Rex kind of walking along with a younger one there, a little juvenile. Actually, I don't even know if I would call it a juvenile. That's definitely a very, very young version of a Tyrannosaur there walking along, I would imagine potentially with its mother. And this is absolutely incredible, but on top of that, I actually did not paint this. This is the first time I've been able to acquire one of Nikola Roglic's models that wasn't painted by me. I normally get them unpainted and stuff, but someone recently had put up a listing on eBay with quite a few models, all, I believe, from Nikola Roglic, and they were already pre-painted, and he actually had them painted by someone on Instagram called Dino Commissions. Now, unfortunately, I was trying to find who the person was that painted these so I could kind of, promote their business a little bit to you guys, kind of include their information in the description, but I couldn't exactly locate who it was. So if you guys happen to know who Dino Commissions is exactly, because I had searched for them on Instagram, found a few different accounts and couldn't quite pinpoint anybody specifically that I could definitively say these were painted by, I would definitely love to add them in the description so you guys could, get a hold of them for some commission work, because the paint jobs on these are fantastic. And it's not just this model. The others that I acquired are all painted by the same Dino Commissions, and they're all incredible. And you'll see that as we get a closer look here. You'll, I think, be just as impressed as I am. But just in general, again, this model is awesome. Look at that scene of a beautiful adult Tyrannosaur walking again with that younger one there, that baby T-Rex. Dino Commissions did an amazing job of bringing this to life when it comes to their paint apps, but of course, Dino and Dog, aka again Nikola Roglic, has done a phenomenal job on the sculpt of this, as he always does. Easily one of the single most talented paleo artists out there. I have no doubt when I say that, because not only does he release some of the most amazing models that you'll ever see, but he releases these models at a crazy rate. Like, he is always releasing new stuff, which is, again, super impressive. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight to a closer look at this fantastic Tyrannosaurus right now. So, starting up here at the head sculpt of the T-Rex, you can straight away see, again, it is incredible. And not only when it comes to the sculpt, but of course the paint. Dino Commissions has done an amazing job of bringing this to life with so much variation of color and so much depth to the paint job. Again, I'm kind of impressed that I had stumbled upon this and had never heard of Dino Commissions, because again, with paintwork this nice, you would think I would have at least heard of them at some point. But again, incredible work on the part of both Nikola Roglic and Dino Commissions. You can see lots of very nice scale detail here in the face. We've got the nostrils sculpted out right there. Really nice fine detail there in the eye socket, as you can see. Some nice creasing and wrinkling there in the eye socket of the dinosaur. Again, lots of nice variation of color, as we even have like very dark purplish tones, and you kind of see almost like bluish tones, kind of some khaki striping and stuff through the snout, and a nice light wash seems to have been applied to highlight all of the detail. The eyes are also really nicely painted. You can see perfectly painted, perfectly placed, and really gorgeous coloration here running along the lower jaw as well. Very clearly the dinosaur is sculpted with its mouth in a closed position, and we do have lips for our Tyrannosaur, which is great to see. You can also see that there is an ear sculpted out there on the back of the head right here. And again, as we lead up here to the top of the head, you can see again more really nice looking fine detail, more nice looking skin texture as you lead up, as well as lots of color variation. Yet again, the paintwork on this is out of this world impressive. As you lead back, you could see some nice osteoderms and stuff, in a few different areas. Lots of skin details, skin creases and wrinkles and stuff as you lead down the course of the neck. The dinosaur has its head turned toward its left, so you can see all the wrinkling and creasing there in the neck region. Again, pretty much as you would expect to see. More of those almost like dark purplish tones showing up there as well. As you lead down here, you can see the throat of our Tyrannosaur moving along the underside of the neck back down here toward the chest. And then as we move down a little bit further, you can see again that we've got more skin creases, skin wrinkles, as well as more phenomenal paintwork. Really nice darkening here as you lead up to the top of the dinosaur. Super smooth transition as we lead up there. Very naturalistic coloration as well. And you can see that we have kind of like greenish tones showing up here and there. Nice kind of like spotting and stuff here as you move through, with some slight darker tones as well. And again, honestly, one of the nicest painted models that I have ever had the pleasure of looking at in my entire life. As you move down, you have lots of skin creases and wrinkles and stuff as you lead into the arms. You can see the arms are held into the body in a very nice naturalistic way. Nice muscle definition. Moving down, you've got some nicely painted nails with a darker, looks like a gray or a black tone of color. As you lead up here into the stomach region, you've got a little bit of girth to the stomach of the T-Rex, so it is a nice big bulky version. I love the kind of wrinkles and skin detail down here, just again kind of showing off the massive size of this Tyrannosaur. As you move up here again toward the top of the dinosaur, you can kind of make out the hip bone and stuff, but I don't feel like we have any sort of shrink wrapping or anything like that going on with the T-Rex, so that's always great. You can again see even in the darker tones there is variation of color up there, as you can see slightly alternate shades of browns and stuff. And then as you move down here into the leg, we have some nice muscle definition. I also love that we have some slight scars that have been painted out here and there, just to again add as much realism as possible to this model. You again have more of that kind of patterning with that darker tone there. Nice transitioning down again toward the nice coloration of like the green tones and stuff that you see poking up here and there. A little bit more of that dark purple back there behind the leg and in front of the leg in the stomach region. You've got the knee of the Tyrannosaur right there. Nice calf muscle over here as well. And then as you lead down, you can see the foot is planted down onto the ground as it's walking through what appears to be a forest setting. You can see there's like a fern right here and stuff like that on the base. The base is honestly just as impressive as the dinosaurs are. We also again have the little baby Rex, but we'll get to that one here in a moment. And then as you lead back up and you lead out into the tail, you've got all kinds of skin wrinkles and skin creases back there behind the thigh as you lead out into this big bulky beginning to the tail of our T-Rex. And as we lead out a little bit here into the tail, you start to see like clusters of osteoderms pick up, and there are just tons of them as you lead out there toward the tip of the tail. You also have a really nice curve to the tail of the T-Rex as you lead out. You also have again darker tones here running along the underside of the Rex. You can see the cloaca is present there as well. And then if we get here around that, you can see again the underside looks phenomenal as you move through here on this T-Rex. And if you look at it again on the opposing side, you can see how nice that paintwork is. Absolutely some of the most realistic and smoothest paint application that I've ever seen on a dinosaur model. Again, just still completely floored by how nice this looks. And then as you lead back here into the neck, you can see how the skin is kind of stretching because the Rex is turning away from us. So very nice attention to detail there. As you lead down, you can see the arm is almost in the same position, maybe held back slightly more so than we see on the opposing side. Again, big belly here on our T-Rex, looking even more intimidating when it comes to the size. You have all kinds of skin wrinkles and creases here in front of the thigh because this leg is actually taking a step, so it would definitely be bunching that skin up there in the stomach region of the Tyrannosaur. And then as you move along again, look at how realistic that paint application is. I am, again, beyond impressed with the paint apps on this Rex. The sculpt is impressive enough, but the paint apps are on another level. And then as you lead down here into the foot sculpt, you can see the foot sculpt looks really good. The Tyrannosaur, again, is picking its foot up off of the ground here as it's walking along. You can see the toes just kind of leaving the ground. And then we lead back up. Again, all kinds of skin wrinkles and skin creases back there behind the thigh, continuing to show off that movement, that walking movement, as we lead out through the length of the tail. And then we also have our little baby down here, and you can see the baby is also very nicely sculpted, if my camera would focus on it anyway. We have a really nicely sculpted head here for our baby Rex, even color variation within the head of that figure, and you can see again for how small that is impressive paintwork. Look at the head, fits easily within one of my fingers. You've got a nice kind of patterning here as you have a darker tone moving along the course of the body here, running down here and striping down into the side, and lots of paint variation even down here on the side. You have like almost like some purplish tones sort of there moving down into the leg. You've got the Tyrannosaur kind of walking along. You can see how it's just sort of following the mother with the walking movement here. The one leg is stepping up off of the ground. The other leg is already preparing to leave the ground. So clearly it's got to keep up a pretty good pace to stay there with the mother, considering how much smaller the legs are of the baby compared to the adult. And then as you lead out, again, you see the really nice looking sculpting there to the tail. We even have like some reddish tones and stuff down here on the underside of the Rex. You can see there's like grayish tones as well. Just a lot of color variation to the figure. And you can also see there is a nice feathering to the Tyrannosaur as well, which is nice to see. Again, like some slight feathering on the baby, and then as it becomes older, obviously it loses its feathers. And then the base again looks great. He's not only painted it out but also added like little areas of vegetation and tons of variation of color. It absolutely looks like a forest floor. It is extremely impressive when it comes to the realism, as well as again the sculpt. The sculpt is fantastic to begin with, but Dino Commissions did a great job of painting this out to look as lifelike and realistic as he possibly could. Super impressive base, super impressive dinosaur sculpt and paint-wise. This is honestly one of my favorite models now in my collection, and I thought I was going to like it when it was coming in. Also, there's another scar up here on the face. I like that. But I thought I was going to like it when I had seen the listing on eBay. I was like, wow, that looks like a great Tyrannosaurus, but I honestly wasn't prepared for how nice this thing was going to look when it arrived. Again, like I said, easily one of my favorite models now in my collection. As far as a size goes, it's got a pretty decent size. Lengthwise, you were looking at about 12.5 inches or around 32 centimeters, somewhere in that vicinity. The highest point is the tail, about 5 inches or just shy of 13 centimeters. And then to the top of the head, a little under 5 inches or around 12.5, approaching 13 centimeters. For a size comparison, there is Mr. Papo T-Rex, the Attack Pack Colovosaurus, and Robert Muldoon from the Mattel Jurassic World toy line next to our Nikola Roglic Tyrannosaurus diorama. And you can see again, even though it's not gigantic by any means, it does still have a very nice, very impressive size. And I feel like once you look at it and you see that it's, got a pretty good size, but it's not gigantic, I think that gives you a whole new appreciation for how impressive the paint apps are on this figure, because they are truly some of the best I've ever seen. But definitely, again, a nice comparison, especially next to Mr. Papo Rex. Then for a few more comparisons, we have the Schleich Diabloceratops, Safari LTDU Tyrannus, and Collect Day Deluxe Dimetrodon next to our Tyrannosaur family, as well as a Mattel Velociraptor there next to the T-Rex. And you can see the Raptor does have a pretty decent size next to the Rex, but clearly the Tyrannosaur is a bit larger. And then for one final comparison, we have PNSO's Wilson the Tyrannosaurus next to the Nikola Roglic version of the Tyrannosaurus. And you can see when it comes to a size, these two are pretty similarly sized, which means that the Nikola Roglic version should be right there around the 1/35th scale size range, roughly, maybe a little bit smaller, but should be somewhere in that similar size range to PNSO's Wilson. And you should, again, be able to get a pretty accurate idea of that here with the two Tyrannosaurs basically going face to face. So this Dino and Dog Nikola Roglic Tyrannosaur family model is absolutely incredible. Like, even if I had acquired this unpainted, I would still be completely blown away by its beauty. We have a very nice, big, bulky, but very healthy looking adult Tyrannosaur here, kind of just walking through a forest area. And on top of that, we have a pretty darn nice looking appearance to it in general. We've got lips and everything on the T-Rex, and incredibly impressive skin detail. All the skin wrinkles and skin folds through the course of the body are mind-blowing, just how realistic the fine detail looks. Nikola Roglic is easily one of the best sculptors out there creating dinosaur models, and I can say that with confidence, especially when it comes to the fine detail and the realism of his models. On top of that, again, the baby down there also looks great. I love how it's kind of looking up at its mother, just like looking to see what it's going to do next, and just trying to kind of stay up with the mom, trying to keep up with her as she's walking along. I really love the entire story that's kind of just being told there with the two dinosaurs and the way they play off of each other. On top of that, again, the sculpts are incredible, but the paint apps are unbelievably well done. From Dino Commissions, like I had stated on Instagram, who I hope to figure out who that is exactly so I can link you guys to. Again, they did an insanely good job when it comes to painting both of these dinosaurs as well as the base. It all looks extremely lifelike and realistic, so much so that standing here in front of me, they genuinely look like living, breathing dinosaurs. And again, it really, if you have paintwork this good, it really just brings the entire scene to life in the best way possible. And I'm again so unbelievably impressed with the paintwork from Dino Commissions that I absolutely need to find out who they are and again look into their work a little bit further because it is really, really impressive. So if you are interested in picking this model up for yourself, I will include a link in the description to exactly where you can do that. So make sure you check that link, go grab this unbelievable model if you are interested. And of course, I will also try to find Dino Commissions so I can add them to the link in the description as well so you can, contact them about some commission work on your dinosaurs. One way or another, unbelievable model all around. Absolutely love this. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think and also like and subscribe and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.